Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6.
It is great to have you with us here for 4 News Now at 6 o'clock. I'm Jordan Smith. We're in the season of giving, and in Hauser Lake, the fire department celebrated its 38th annual Shalina's Breakfast with Santa today, raising money for a child battling cancer. Our Hunter Bertram shows us the annual mission that's helped sick children for decades.
Nearly 40 years ago, Shalina Mobbs, daughter of Captain Gary Mobbs of the Hauser Lake Fire Department, lost her battle with neuroblastoma, a nerve cell cancer. Since then, Captain Mobbs has been helping families in similar situations.
And I thought, what a great idea. I said, why don't we, and so I brought it to the firefighters, I said, why don't we do like a pancake feed and raise money for a child that has cancer in Idaho. An
idea inspired by his late daughter, aimed to keep her name alive.
So it's a bittersweet for myself and my family, because we lost Shalina in her battle, but her name continues on here.
This year marks the 38th Shalina's Breakfast with Santa. This Sunday's breakfast proceeds for Lane Turleson, a 6-year-old from Spirit Lake who was diagnosed with leukemia in August. He was loud, proud, and energetic at breakfast, but it hasn't always been like this since his diagnosis.
You know, that first month, he really didn't talk. Yeah. He wasn't, he would sit in his bed and stare, and it was really hard. He wasn't communicating, he wasn't happy. It was a struggle.
Lane's mother, Lindsay, further explained that it's an up and down journey, one they never thought would affect their family. But they tell me Sunday's breakfast gave them hope for what's still to come, and also a good meal.
Oh my gosh, it was delicious. Yeah, it was so good.
Good food, lots of laughter, and community support make this breakfast what it is. Captain Mobbs says it's all a part of being a firefighter, helping out your community in face of adversity.
We're there at their worst times a lot of times, and we're helping to pick up the pieces for them. So that, in the background, that's what the fire service does. EMS, that's what we do.
In Hauser Lake, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
Such a great story from our Hunter Bertram tonight. We'll show you here a live look at Lookout Pass. It was a great powder day on the hill. The snow seems to, there it is. You can see it's starting to trickle down over there. Skiers have packed up on the roads at this point. And we'll show you what that drive back home looks like. You can see visibility not great on I-90 near Lookout. Snow covering parts of the road. You can see those headlights barely cutting through the fog there. So if you're headed in that direction, WashDOT is urging drivers to make sure you keep those chains with you and give yourself plenty of extra time. And that's also true for the folks traveling to or from the west side of the state. We'll send things to meteorologist Matt Gray, who can update you on the conditions over at Snoqualmie Pass.
Yeah, and things were definitely pretty rough this morning on Snoqualmie Pass and at Stevens Pass. Stevens definitely looking quite snow-covered here this evening. Snoqualmie, though, doing a whole lot better. Definitely a lot of hard work by road crews, and some warmer temperatures this afternoon has really helped to clear things out in that regard. So much better pass travel than we saw yesterday, and much better than what we saw this morning. So some positives there after another period of quite a bit of snow in our mountains. Down in the valleys, though, we didn't get much, only about just a little dusting at best, or very light amounts. Pretty quiet over the passes, as you can see here. Just a couple of showers on the far side of Highway 2. Let's show you what's going on locally here as we head back to the inland northwest. And, well, after some showery conditions this morning, mainly snow showers, we've got a little bit of rain in the Pullman area right now, and a couple of snow flurries across north central Idaho that, as you can see by this loop over the last hour, gradually pulling away. So we'll continue to see some rain for a little bit, rain or some sort of wintry mix around Pullman here shortly, a little bit in Moscow as well, and then over the next hour, this will all track down towards the LC Valley. So a little bit of precipitation, but not all that much. Most of us will be drying out for the rest of the evening. Expect some temporary clearing followed by low clouds and fog. What else would there be as we get our day started for tomorrow? Not to say that we have no chance of seeing some sunshine. In fact, we'll probably have our best chance of seeing sun all week going into your Monday. So we'll talk about that, and we have more wet weather on the way. I'll show you when that will be coming up and what you'll have to plan around.
We're looking forward to it, Matt. Thank you. And speaking of the west side of the state, Gonzaga and Kentucky, they went head-to-head last night in Seattle in a thrilling top 10 matchup. The Zags held a strong lead after the first half, but this game went all the way to overtime before the Zags lost by a single point. Sydney Berger was at the game in Climate Pledge Arena. She has the post-game report.
Well, outside the arena, it's a standard cloudy December night, but inside Climate Pledge, you would have thought it was the middle of March. Both Gonzaga and Kentucky have top 10 scoring offenses in the country, so unsurprisingly, the Cats and Dogs were making it rain in Seattle. Gonzaga carried an 18-point lead on the Wildcats that completely diminished by the end of regulation with the score tied at 79. The Wildcats held their very first lead of the game in the first minute of overtime. After the first half, Kentucky came in with clear adjustments and the Zags had no response.
And we gave them life and they did a great job. They came roaring back. They got a lot of confidence on their offensive end, and I think our offense affected our defense a little bit, and we lost a little bit of our intensity and started kind of deviating from the plan.
Graham Ike led all scorers Saturday night. He had 18 points in just the first half and finished the night with a double-double, 28 points and 11 rebounds. Ryan Nembhard also joined that club at 13 points and 10 assists.
Yeah, Graham was unbelievable in the first half. He was ridiculous, man. He had us on a top and just made every shot, and they do it so fluidly. And you know, Ryan does such an unbelievable job. I mean, you know, he's a 10-1 guy, and he was 10-1 again tonight.
Combined with some defensive struggles, the Zags' downfall came down to quite a few missed shots and missing every three-point shot attempt in the second half. It didn't seem like there was an empty seat in Climate Pledge, and the atmosphere was at the playoff level. It's a place Gonzaga has the potential to return to this March if they earn a top 4 seed in the western region of this year's tournament.
Obviously, we had our runs, they had our runs. It was a good basketball game, and I think that'll just prepare us for later in the year for games like this and learn how to close out games a little bit better.
Gonzaga's next time out has similar stakes. They'll travel to the East Coast to take on UConn in Madison Square Garden. That game is next Saturday at 5 o'clock. Reporting from Climate Pledge, Sydney Berger, 4 News Now Sports.
Another tough matchup ahead for the Zags. Hopefully they come out on top there. And Sports Director Jack Wallace will join us later on in the show with another look at sports. That's coming up. Local organizations are teaming up to make sure that Spokane families have what they need this Christmas. For over 70 years, the Christmas Bureau has provided families throughout the greater Spokane area with assistance to buy food and gifts over the holiday season. Eligible households can receive a grocery voucher as well as 1 toy per child in the home age 17 and younger and an age-appropriate book for each child age 15 and younger. The annual program is coordinated by Volunteers of America, Catholic Charities, Eastern Washington, and the Spokesman Review. In-person registration for the program runs from December 12th through the 19th at the Spokane County Fair and Expo Center. Coming up here after the break, if you're looking to save some money this holiday season, we've got some merry and magical news for you. Stick around to learn which businesses downtown are offering some holiday specials you'll want to know about. And the rolling hills of the Palouse are known for the endless wheat fields, cougar football, and giant windmills, but it's also home to a historic railroad bridge. That's coming up. We'll show you that in this week's Air 4 Adventure.
And at least in Spokane, even with a light dusting of snow in the area last night, still a big 0 for measurable snow over a week now into our snowiest month statistically of the year. We'll go looking for some winter weather in your extended forecast coming up.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
Sports on 4 News Now is brought to you by Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Bigger, brighter, and better than ever. Check in on the new Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino. We've just completed a major expansion, adding more amenities to elevate your guest experience to new heights.
So, what are you waiting for?
When your child has moderate to severe eczema, it's okay for them to show off. Show off their clearer skin and noticeably less itch with Dupixent. Because children 6 months and older with eczema have plenty of reasons to show off their skin. With Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists, they can stay ahead of their eczema. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your child's skin from within. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain, vision changes, or blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma or other medicines without talking to your doctor. Show off to the world. Ask your child's eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Mom, why is there stuff out here?
Hey, can't stay here.
Okay.
Thank you, Spokane, for helping so many local children glow this past year. For lighting the path for our Joya families as they navigate raising a child with developmental delays and disabilities. Because of you, there is so much joy this holiday season. Words spoken, steps taken, milestones met. You bring light to Joya and those we serve.
Today's so dizzy.
Feel the power of big win energy at Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino, where the winning never stops. Last month, our guests scored big with thrilling jackpots and exciting payouts. Are you ready to elevate your winning?
4 News Now is brought to you by Rebath Spokane.
Welcome back. Downtown Spokane shops and restaurants are spreading some holiday cheer with some great discounts and deals now through the start of the new year. With the Merry and Magical Deals Pass, you can explore all downtown Spokane has to offer while saving at some select breweries, wineries, nightlife spots, attractions, retail stores, you name it. Participating restaurants and stores include Breck West Brewing, Revival Tea Company, and so many more. The pass runs through January 31st, 2025. You can find the link to sign up on our website, KXLY.com. We'll send things over to meteorologist Matt Gray for another look at the forecast. Matt, that would be a lot more magical, you said, if there was some snow to go along with that.
Yeah, it would be a lot more magical. Maybe not so magical out on the road. So, you know, everybody's opinion on snow, the later and later we get into the season, it really starts to differ a little bit. But for a lot of folks, I really think the first couple of times, everybody's mostly okay with it. We haven't really had a whole lot this year. So let's go try and find some in your extended forecast. Not much going on for the first half of the week. We're going to be dry until Thursday. The wettest period of weather here in our extended forecast will be all the way back at next weekend. And there's a good reason why for this. The dark blue colors, that's where we have a lot of moisture in our atmosphere. Well, this was the storm that we just got through. Then our jet stream winds, you got to go all the way up to the north to Alaska, all the way back around, and then a huge stream of moisture heading up to the Great White North. In between, drier air that's going to be moving over us, and that means that it's going to be dry, and we'll have, surprise, surprise, more low clouds and fog. How exciting is that? There is an opportunity, I think, for us to maybe break out into a little bit of sunshine tomorrow. We'll talk about that later, but let's go through the overall pattern here. Pretty quiet up until Thursday. We're going to have a kind of weak little system. You can see these kind of southward bends here in these lines of pressure. So this is going to be a little kind of weak wave of moisture. It's not going to produce much. More of the action is going to be out on the west side. But what does come across with our cooler temperatures should be enough for a few areas of light snow. I'm not expecting anything major or anything that would slow us down out there on our commutes significantly. Now, that could change as we head to our next system. As you can see, definitely shows up a lot more here as we are heading into the weekend. This is Friday night. So this moisture is going to track up to the north. It'll likely start as snow, but as those southerly winds bring in warmer air, we may flip over to rain at some point. A lot of details and very far away. So the track of this storm may change and the whole character of what's going to go down may change as well. But what you do need to know is that we're going to be talking about some wet conditions for next weekend and perhaps another kind of gross day like we saw on Saturday. Here's your planner for tomorrow. Not much going on. Temperatures aren't going to change much either with those Low clouds and fog hanging around. We'll show you here on the forecast radar because we do simulate clouds with this, and that should give you an idea of kind of where the dreariest conditions will be. Across the Palouse, where we've had some of those showers recently, to Spokane, to Coeur d'Alene, north to the Sandpoint area. An opportunity here on some of our computers trying to clear it out as we get towards about 1 or 2 in the afternoon. So, hey, fingers crossed, especially across eastern Washington, that we'll be able to see at least a little bit of sunshine. North Idaho friends, I'm much less optimistic that you'll be able to get a little sun before the day is out, and then forget about it on Tuesday. Temperatures in the 30s, not too different from what is average for this time of the year. Overall, pretty quiet start to the week and not a lot of drastic temperature changes. We will be getting a little bit warmer heading into the weekend with the southerly winds, which is why we have a mix of rain and snow for the moment for your Saturday and Sunday forecast.
Not quite what we thought headed into December here, Max.
Yeah, not what you classically think of, Jordan.
Right, well, thank you for that. And hey, the rolling hills of the Palouse, they're known for their endless wheat fields and spectacular sunsets, though you may not really catch those this week. But it's also home to a historic railroad bridge. And tonight's Air Forward Venture will take you just south of Rosalia, where some bridges have sat for more than a century.
The Milwaukee Road Bridge has stood on the edge of town for more than 100 years. The rumble of trains that once crossed it faded into history more than 40 years ago. Built in 1915, it replaced the original wood trestle and has a very unique design for a railroad bridge. The Milwaukee Road used the concrete arch design because it had to cross over a rival railroad and the state highway. The bridge is actually 2 spans, one consisting of 1 arch over what is now the Spokane-Spangle-Palouse Railway. The other has 4 arches over Pine Creek and what is now Rosalia Road, formerly Highway 195. You can take an adventure of your own across the bridge now. It's part of the Palouse to Cascades Trail State Park. The trail can be accessed at several spots on the outskirts of Rosalia. In all, the trail is 250 miles long. It's good for hiking, mountain biking, and watching for birds or other wildlife. From above the Palouse, Brian Neal, 4 News Now.
Well, after the break, we have more from Washington State on their bowl game selection. The Cougs ready for their 5th Holiday Bowl up against the Syracuse Orange. More in sports coming up.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
When your child has moderate to severe eczema, it's okay for them to show off. Show off their clearer skin and noticeably less itch with Dupixent. Because children 6 months and older with eczema have plenty of reasons to show off their skin. With Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists, they can stay ahead of their eczema. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your child's skin from within. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain, vision changes, or blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma or other medicines without talking to your doctor. Show off to the world. Ask your child's eczema specialist about Dupixent.
It's jaw-dropping, it's eye-popping, it's gut-busting. It's showtime. That's right. The whole world loves Beetlejuice. It's a rowdy, rambunctious, rollicking good time. And a big, fantastical funhouse. Beautiful. Everyone agrees this show is so good. You've never seen anything quite like. What else do you need to hear? Beetlejuice. Coming to First Interstate Center for the Arts December 31st through January 5th.
Some know it as prime rib. Officially, it's called a ribeye roast. We call ours divine. Tender, mouth-watering Hereford beef, aged to perfection for 5 weeks and never frozen. Oven ready and easy. Divine beef ribeye roast. tied and seasoned at your request. Reserve yours now, exclusively at Yolk's Fresh Markets.
Why do people come to the University of Washington? They come here to find people who will inspire them, move them, change them. They come to solve big problems and prepare for careers where they can make a difference. They come to cheer on their Huskies in the greatest setting in college football. If you want to change the world, this is where you start. For passion, for possibility, be boundless.
After the craziness of Conference Championship Day, the WSU Coug Bowl destination is now set. Wazoo will play in their 5th all-time Holiday Bowl in sunny San Diego in just a couple weeks. Washington State enters this game up against the number 21 Syracuse Orange from the ACC. They finished 9-3 overall, 5-3 in their conference, beating at the time number 6 Miami in the regular season finale to knock the Hurricanes out of the ACC championship game. But the Orange also boast the nation's leading passer. Ohio State transfer Kyle McCord, he threw for an eye-popping 4,326 yards this season, leading FBS. Both the Cougs and the Orange are not necessarily used to winning 8 or 9 win seasons, and head coach Jake Dickert spoke more today. We're going to hear more about him coming up nightside on what he sees out of the Orange. Now, the game is going to be held at Snapdragon Stadium, built just last season as the new home for the San Diego State Aztecs. Coug fans finding this pretty familiar. WSU played there earlier this season when they beat SDSU, and kickoff for this year's Holiday Bowl is December 27th at 5 p.m. Gonzaga women's basketball fought very valiantly today at Colorado State Rams, but they fell 72-74 in overtime. After a strong first half, they led by over 20, but they saw the Rams go on a 24-9 third quarter run and outscored the Zags by 5 more in the fourth. Yvonne Ejim led the Bulldogs with 22 points and 5 rebounds, plus an incredible day from Mott Hybens with 15 points and a remarkable 19 rebounds. Gonzaga ends their longest road stretch of the season and now comes back to the McCarthy Center to face in-state foes Eastern Washington at 2 p.m. next Saturday. Welcome to the desert. Seahawks, Cardinals rematching after Seattle win just 2 weeks ago. Kyler Murray play action. He's looking for a deep shot. Watch out below. Michael Wilson fighting through his man, touchdown, getting the Cardinals on the board. We go back to Seattle after an interception. Geno Smith finding Jackson Smith-Njigba, his new favorite target this year, 19 yards to the end zone, touchdown Seattle, taking the lead late in the first quarter. But Zach Charbonnet, he was the king today. Around every defender barreling in for a touchdown. They extend their lead to 10, back to a touchdown gap. Oh, yeah, it's Charbonnet again. He's got some room. That's a 51-yard house call, y'all, right before the half, and Seattle does not even think about looking back. 30-18 is your final. Seahawks completing the season sweep on the Cards, remaining in that top spot in the NFC West. Charbonnet had a career-high 134 yards and 2 scores, all in the absence of starter Kenneth Walker. Seattle now sits at 8-5, an impressive 5-1 on the road, and rides their 4-game win streak into next week's home Sunday Night Football game up against the Green Bay Packers. The Idaho Vandals are moving on in the playoffs. They beat the Lehigh Mountain Hawks 34-13 last night, cruising on into the quarterfinals after a fantastic performance from quarterback Jack Lane, 318 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. You're seeing them right here. Vandals defense held well too, allowing only 5 third-down conversions and 15 Mountain Hawk attempts, plus stopping all 3 Lehigh fourth-down attempts. After the game, quarterback Jack Lane and defensive back Joshua Barnes spoke with the media on playing the last game of the year in the Kibbie Dome.
Excited, man. Just thankful. The crowds were great all year, and to end it like that at home and knowing it's the last time we're going to play at home this year, that was cool. Definitely was cool.
Yeah, it was a great atmosphere. I mean, it was awesome to go out there and get a win in front of our fans, knowing it's going to be the last game this year in the Kibbie Dome, so it was awesome to do that.
This was the first win for Idaho over Lehigh since a 77-14 beatdown in 1993. That season, the Vandals finished with 11 wins and in the semifinals of that year's playoffs. Next for Idaho is a rematch in Bozeman. They play at the Montana State Bobcats this Friday at 6 p.m., looking to avenge a 38-7 loss that was also in Montana, their biggest blowout loss of the season. Montana State is the top overall seed, so it's looking like the toughest path for the Vandals, who would play the winner of UC Davis and South Dakota in the semifinals if they can pull off the upset win. 4 News Now. We'll be right back after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by A Magical Cirque Christmas, coming December 28th.
The beloved TV classic soars off the screen and onto the stage this season. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the musical. See all your favorite characters from this TV classic come to life live on stage. This gleeful musical take on a holiday favorite will go down in history as a smashing hit. Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, the musical.
December 10th and 11th at First Interstate Center for the Arts. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
There is a place where magic seems to hide around every corner, where cherished memories are born in twinkling snowflakes, where enchanting adventures await all who explore. Where is this real-life winter wonderland? Nestled by the lake is Coeur d'Alene's Holiday Light Show. Be the first to see our all-new grand floating Christmas tree, with holiday getaways starting at only $246.
When you have moderate to severe eczema, it's okay to show off. With Dupixent, show off your clearer skin and less itch. Because you have plenty of reasons to show off your skin. With Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists, you can stay ahead of your eczema. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your skin from within. Many adults saw 90% clearer skin. Some even achieved long-lasting clearer skin and fast itch relief after first dose. Severe allergic reactions can occur. Get help right away for face, mouth, tongue, or throat swelling, wheezing, or trouble breathing. Tell your doctor of new or worsening eye problems like eye pain, vision changes, or blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma or other medicines without talking to your doctor. Show off to the world. Ask your eczema specialist about Dupixent.
It's here once again. An adventure in Coeur d'Alene with family and friends. Trees will light up, snow will fall, while you're dining, shopping, and having a ball. Santa and STCU hit elves in secret spots, so keep an eye out and you could win lots. If you find our elf on a shelf while in downtown Coeur d'Alene, a Fig Pickles shopping spree, Gonzaga tickets, or gift cards you could gain. Explore CDADowntown.com if you want to learn more.
All right, final quick look at your forecast. Definitely a little dull to start, but we'll have some excitement and maybe, just maybe, even a little bit of snow for the end of the week.
Just a touch. Ooh. That would be great to make it feel like December.
Just a little bit.
A little less like nice. Portland. That'd be kind of nice. We'll see you tonight at 11.